GM, we are live. We are live, and I am home. I am back again. Free agency has started, and we're gonna get to everything. But man, it was I would have to say we did not have the world's greatest run out as far as landing spots. So we'll go over all that. I don't think this was terrible, but we definitely had a few stands that may not have gone exactly how we'd hope. But there's still the draft. So we're going to see what happens. But Gunnar Ross, GM all. GM to you, Gunnar Ross. I appreciate you. And Goods, you touched on a nerve there. I said pick 77 was the wrong place for Tootin because he either should be in the 40s or he should be around pick 110. I wasn't taking him because I thought he should be around pick 110. So Tootin, I got to start taking him. So over for me. But Goods, appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Hope you're having a great one. Likewise, Bird Enthusiast. Good morning to you. Good morning. I have not done a draft since I left on Tuesday. So let's hop in one. Let's not make the people wait. Let's get... Ooh, not the little board. Big board. Let's get to the big board. Let me know if music or anything is too loud. I can make adjustments. We're waiting for... I did adjust it. Sidekick, don't yell at me. All right. Might try to fix that on the fly real quick. Just because I want to make sure that this is okay. Hold on one second, everyone. I just gotta reinstall Sidekick, I think. And then I gotta change the settings on it. But if anyone wants to hop in, let me know, and we will start. All right, hold on. We're almost there. When the draft board is showing. All right, perfect. And now we're waiting for 4. So we've lost people. We've lost people in this draft. All right, we should be signed in, right? All right, everything should be all good. Steven WC, appreciate you so much coming in, hanging out. Hope you're having a great morning. Likewise, Danny064, good morning to you. Greg, we did it. We got Malik Willis. I am stoked. I am very excited about Willis to the Dolphins. I think that is a really fun signing. My reading of the contract, I don't know all of the contracts. I have been trying to keep up with it. I was on a family vacation, so I couldn't be glued to my phone or everything, but have been trying to catch up with it with all the news. It doesn't feel like we're going to be in cap hell if this Willis thing does not work out. But let's hope it does. At the very least, we should be more fun. I hear some people worried about what this means for Waddle and Achane. I think they're going to be fine. I think, the Dolphins, their secondary peripheral receivers, I think in this offense are never going to be that great, no matter who they are. You might get Malik Washington spike games if the Dolphins don't add somebody, but frankly, we'll see what they do. I've seen a couple mocks having them take one of the big 3 receivers. Again, new regime. Sometimes they want fun new playthings to make their own. I don't know, though. I imagine this kind of defensive-minded coach, we might not do that in the first round, but we're going to see. Chris, a lot has happened. And yeah, we'll get to all of it. I guess the thumbnail for me was Tyler Algier, which I did make before free agency started, thinking he'd get a real good landing spot. I think he got a good landing spot, but the contract is a little concerning. I think he's only making about a 2-year, $12 million deal. I think it's pretty bad for Trey Benson. I think the Trey Benson picks are going to start looking pretty lousy. He has to be a big faller. Again, I haven't done a draft. I'm just assuming he's a big faller. James Conner returning to Arizona. I think Algier is probably going to be the 1A there, but it is likely to be some kind of split. But it could be good. It could be good. And the Cardinals bringing back Brissett. I did not think that was going to happen. I thought there was a very, very low chance Brissett was going to be back there. So Cardinals with Brissett were fun from a fantasy perspective. Cardinals with Brissett also had weird running back stuff. They were down to D Mercado and Bam Knight and all kinds of dust balls. So we'll see how they run the offense when, they start the year and they're not out of contention. Very interesting team there, the Cardinals. Hey, Chido, appreciate you so much. Hope you're having a great morning. Appreciate you so much coming by, hanging out. Greg says, God, someone is excited. I hate it. Half-hearted excitement instead of just biting the bullet and fully. I just don't think we're spending. We didn't have to give up picks or anything to get him. We have him for 3 years. And, even a rebuild, if we're, oh my gosh, and we got the 1. Look at this. Look at this. We got the 1.1. I heard tale that Gibbs was flipping Bijan. That has not happened here. But we'll take Bijan. We'll stick with ADP in the first round. That's fine. I see King of QC in here. We got Brooklyn Bum. We got Blueless. DM is someone I know. Apologize if I don't recognize you off the rip. But if anyone else is in here, let me know. And we will shout you out. Greg says, at least we didn't pay him enough to prohibit a rookie QB next year, but now there'll be no teams set up for rookie QB. I guess, Greg, for me, we're going to be in cap hell for the next 2 years. So, what are we going to spend our cap on, that we do have? I don't know. I don't mind it. And if he is good, we'll probably retain him. I feel like it's a good problem to have if this pans out. All right, let's just rip in Bijan and get rolling here. Chris says, my dynasty team with RJ, Harvey, Tootin, and Sharps escaped nearly unscathed. Yeah, I mean, Dobbins, I think, got a little more money than we were expecting. We knew someone was coming in. Dobbins feels like kind of in the middle of the bull in the bear case, like Dobbins coming back. From a dynasty perspective, again, you're thinking more long term. I don't know that it's I don't know that it's terrible. I mean, Dobbins is not a long term answer there. It's just I'm just a little worried that Harvey isn't either. But we'll see. Harvey has to be Harvey, I would imagine, is falling a little bit in these. Vertitucci says Jacoby about to throw 60 passes. Yeah, I think this is very good for our Wilson bags. I'm pretty excited about that. I think if you have Trey McBride, you are euphoric. I don't have as much of him as I wanted. I was counting on percent not being back. So again, we're going to adjust in these remaining drafts. We're going to adjust in BBM. So, we took some stands. They weren't all bad. They definitely not everything was good. Genty at 12. I thought he might be coming up. Some improvement there in the offensive line. In Vegas, Kent Walker bearing the lead. Kent Walker probably the biggest winner here, going to Kansas City. Now a 1-2 turn pick. My goodness. So huge story there. He probably should have been the cover boy had I remade the graphic, but I did not. So you get the $6 million man, Tyler Algier. But we did. It's about time, Blueless. It's about time we get the Influencer 1.1. We hit 500 subs, so now we're starting to get good draft picks. You love to see it. By the way, if you can, like and subscribe. Please drop the like. It helps. It helps so much. But appreciate you so much. Hey, King of QC GM, I see you in here at the 2-hole. Hopefully we can play nice in this draft. Chris said Dobbins will be injured at some point. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. If you're drafting as week 17 is all that matters, you have to like the Dobbins selection for your Harvey bags. Chase Brown somehow escaped unscathed so far. I feel like Cincinnati's going to draft someone, but I will take Chase Brown because I can't count on that. Bucky Irving, he's got to be plummeting there. Let's see. What do we want to do? I'll do Olave. I feel like Olave kind of a sneaky winner. The Saints adding Etienne, but nothing to the receiving game. Kind of feels like a win. They certainly could have added somebody that could have put a little target competition, maybe. Vele, if you want to go to deep sleepers, could be a win. They're also live to draft somebody. We'll see what they do, especially now that that Love is probably off the table for them. So maybe if you read the tea leaves that they'll take a receiver. This pick we could see change, but we'll see. Emo Cowboy GM Chad, what's this I hear about your PGA best ball result? So we picked Bhatia last week. I can't remember. I hope I did that on stream. I hope I announced this on stream, but in any Discords, I was talking about Bhatia. Yes, I used Bhatia in my one and dones. I bet Bhatia outright, and Bhatia won the API. And if you listen to any tout, no one was talking about Bhatia. If they were, I did not hear them. So I was very happy with myself picking Bhatia. So that'll be my moment of self back patting. You won't hear me do that again here. But yeah, was a huge win for me. Pretty excited, and we'll see if we can keep the one and done stuff going. My early. If you want to go deep again, kind of like Adam Scott. We'll see though. We might not need to go that far off the board. The players. If you're doing one and done, it's the biggest purse of the year. So if there's a time to use a big gun, it could be this. But we'll see. The pick is not official yet, but a little teaser there. Chris says, by the way, Chad, I'm doing one pre-draft $10 since Underdog gave me a $25 deposit match. There we go. I rarely get these deposit matches on Underdog because I'm not in a pick'em state, and so they don't do as many. But yeah, that's awesome. Make sure to check your promos if you have that. Bluelist thinks Walker at 13 seems too high. Yeah, it's. The problem is I don't think it is. I feel like for the Chiefs RB1, that's pretty good. I don't know. The only issue that I have with Walker that high is you are now running into people that got Walker at like pick 36, so your combos are going to be like a lot worse. You're not like dead in the water, but you have hit that situation where someone has gone like a full like 24 picks up, and that's not always the best. Hey, Skeletor GM to you. Hope you're having a great one. Appreciate you so much coming in, hanging out. Bird enthusiast. Gainwell to the Bucks was shocking. Yeah, that was an interesting signing, huh? I feel like that's so bad for Bucky. And I know Tucker's gone, but something tells me they're gonna just like draft another running back and do the 3-headed committee again, and it's gonna be kind of a nightmare for everybody. I don't know. Emo Cowboy, congrats on that smash. Well, appreciate that, Emo Cowboy. I was happy to hit one because it was definitely a bit out there. It was definitely a little bit out there. All right, let's see. Looking at this range of the board, largely unscathed. Junze, maybe he's risen because DJ Moore, of course, has fled to Buffalo. Probably impacts Loveland. I'll take Loveland here. That seems pretty good. Then the question is, do we fill out the running back room? You know what? Let's take our guy. We will continue to buy the Dipperino on our king, Cam Scatabo. They did not bring in a running back, which depends on your perception of this. Is it good? They didn't bring in a back to compete with him. There was talk they were interested in Walker. Or is this really bad because now they're very live to take Love at 5? We will see. If they take Love at 5, Cam Scatabo at pick 49 is going to look a little bit messed up. Greg says, you did announce it on stream. I wish I tailed. Love the shout. He should. Hey, appreciate that. Okay. I am glad I did make that pick on stream. Yeah, I thought we were going to get a Bhatia breakout this year at a signature event, and I just got lucky. I picked the right one. So happy about that. Walker is going to land in the first round. He just has to get up one more pick. Do we think Achane is the guy that gets bumped out of the first, with people afraid of what it means that with Willis, a quarterback with some mobility, change in scheme? I think if anyone was going to drop out, it could be Achane, I guess. Great for the game in general. Yeah, Akshay is the best. I love Akshay. He's only 24, super young, fun to watch. I love that he he's so skinny. He actually injured himself fist pumping, last year, getting to a playoff. So funny. Evo Cowboy Chiefs RB1 has such a smash in the top 3 rounds. Wait, uh-oh. Yeah, that is fair. It hasn't always worked out for us, but it could this time. But I do think Walker's probably more talented than like when we were aping into the Pico top of Pacheco, or we were like way too bullish on CEH. We've at least seen it from Walker. So I don't know. I don't want to not have the Chiefs RB1. We see Tootin at 63. Honestly, I think Tootin, that's now too cheap for where we're at with Tootin. And I say this as somebody who I think I have like 1 Tootin share through 100 some odd drafts. Not great. Gotta get more of that. Looking at, I'm trying to see anyone that's changed significantly since I last did a draft. This feels like a fall on Lamar. Maybe I'm mistaken there. MHJ at pick 61. I think that's where he was too. Good says, I've accepted I have very little Ken Walker pre-draft and wait till BBM to get my shares. Yeah, that is totally fair. Alec Pierce up to pick 69. The departure of Pittman has to be good things for him and Warren and Downs. All right, let's see. Man, Caleb would be real nice for us if we could make Caleb happen, and we do. So let's queue up Caleb here to pair with Loveland, and we need a wide receiver. Metcalf will probably fall. I think he's fallen a little already with Pittman coming in. Ricky Pearsall now has to contend with Mike Evans, which was, I think, a little bit unexpected for a lot of us. But Mike Wilson getting Brissett, I will continue to buy that. So this team so far is Caleb, Bijan, Chase Brown, Cam Scatabo, Chris Olave, Michael Wilson, Colston Loveland. I'm really I like this team so far. I think if you want to quibble with anything, you could quibble with the Scatabo pick, but that's more of a player take. I think structurally, I like how this team is going. Emo Cowboy Walker, such an easy fade for me. Not a high success rate or regular target guy. Chiefs not been throwing as often. 2-3 turn more appropriate where he was going. IMO. Yeah, there's definitely a chance there's a little double counting. It seems that we were excited that he'd get the chance to go to be an alpha. And so he kind of rose from when the contest opened on the news that he wasn't coming back. And now he's giga risen that he went to the Chiefs. I wonder where he would have risen if he had gone to, say, the Texans before they took Montgomery or to, I don't know, Arizona if they had spent a bunch. I'm kind of curious if we are double counting a little. But that said, it's just not a profile I want to have none of. So I don't know. Because I do think the Chiefs are going to be significantly better and could end up scoring a lot of touchdowns. But yeah, there's certainly some fear there because they can get a little squirrely with their wide receivers, or actually running back usage, even in the best of days. Chris said, Titans taking Love, book it, I'm in Tennessee. That I would be very happy about that. That would be pretty, that would be great. Titans signing Wandale. Interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that for my oversized Wandale bags. I don't think it's my favorite outcome, I have to say. I was kind of banking on him going back to the Giants, and I almost wonder what they're going to do now. It's sort of Neighbors and Slayton. I hadn't been taking out of Slayton. They seem like they need a wide receiver maybe more than they need Love at 5, but we'll see. Emo Cowboy says 2 different staffs finding a way to fade Walker in HVT ways feels bad, but he can do the Saquon thing, I guess. Probably heavy fade on vibes. Get lucky with injury. The injury out is always there for the big fades. That is for sure. All right, let me make my pick here. Jeez, we're giving away the ghost. Tony Pollard has been falling. Gosh, I kind of like Pitts here. Let's take Pitts. Interesting. I'm not sure what to do with with Dowdle. I'm going to go double elite tight end. And then maybe I actually scroll down and take Godwin of this range. I think Godwin with Evans out is pretty intriguing. He hasn't risen a ton, although I'm pulling him up 10 picks of ADP. So I'm kind of causing the problem here. We'll go double elite tight end on this team. Maybe our very last click will be a tight end, or we'll stop at 2. But we're gonna try something here. But Chris Godwin should be I think he should be a riser. But yeah, Emo, I do have that worry that our last taste with Walker was kind of anomalous. Charbonnet got hurt. Who knows if Charbonnet got hurt week 5? Do they bring in another back and it turns into a committee, or it's just like, well, we're not going to like create a huge split with George Halani. So I do agree there is some risk that we are buying the top of the top with Walker, but again, we've seen what he can do when he gets the bell cow usage. So like you said, get luck with injury. We could get unlucky and Kareem Hunt, sprains his ankle week 16 or, week 15. And then all of a sudden it's just like, a contending Chiefs team with, with Walker. I don't know. Purple Yosh, GM to you. Hope you're having a great morning. Appreciate you so much coming in and hanging out. Emo noting the Chiefs brand is frothy name value we ignore outside of Hunt. It's been a fade early draft capital. Yeah. I just, again, I think the vibes are better. Bieniemy coming back. They're bringing the band back together one last time. Travis Kelce returning. Maybe I spend too much time hanging out in the Matic Discord, but I'm pretty in on the Chiefs this year. I appreciate that, Emo Cowboy, on the background music. Yeah, this is from, I want to add a few different ones in from YouTube Studio. Has some like music you can use, just so it's not like the same night driving and feeding the ducks. I think we all could use a break from those. Chris says Wandale getting all the Calvin Ridley targets, plus he's good. Yeah, I still like Wandale. I don't want to be out on that. I just, there's a little bit of Cam Ward. It's a little bit of Cam Ward risk now, and I think Dart was definitely better, but I'm not going to stop drafting him. I feel like Godwin should be coming up. Bird Enthusiast is avoiding Dowdle and Warren. I weirdly think they're both going to be okay. Like, I feel like we're going to get like 8, like we're going to get like 1,000-ish scrimmage yards from both of them. And with assuming Rodgers is back, you're going to get those just random like scam like passing game. Hold on, let me make my pick here. What do I want to do? Ugh. Geez, quarterback's going to get away from me here. I'm in this like, yikes, this is a dead range of wide receivers that I'm finding myself in. All right, I got to do something. All right, we're going to take Darnold first. Diggs to me is really Shadow Realmy. Krosky Merritt, maybe a little bit of a sneaky winner. J.K. Dobbins is going to keep rising. I will take Dobbins over Gainwell here. No, we're going to audible real quick because we do have this Tampa Bay bet. All right. Sorry. Because we have Godwin here. Let's bet a little bit on Tampa Bay, and wide receiver could get really gross on us. I don't want to get locked out at quarterback, which could happen. Some of the guys I like, like Mendoza, he's not going to be back to me. Willis is now going earlier. We see him go here at pick 117. So again, I'm a little out of practice. Haven't drafted in a few days. Not used to the new landscape. Don't love to see Khalil Shakir having, I think he had like tightrope surgery. That seems not great. It's not even the DJ Moore thing. I don't think DJ Moore is great, but I don't love that we got Khalil Shakir on Instagram laying in a hospital with a boot on his foot. That's not really what I wanted to see. So we will see. Emo says Tyler Warren, quiet winner of yesterday. I feel like that too. They can just have Dowdle just do those 3 yard in a cloud of dust stuff. Warren's touchdowns are probably going to have to, come from a little bit of range or in the passing game. But I think that's what he's better at. You don't want Warren eating those tough yards. Give that stuff to Dowdle, and then Dowdle can get the goal. I feel like they're both going to be okay. They're probably still going to be pretty run heavy. Chris says Cam Ward was fine in a broken team environment. Yeah, he certainly got better later in the year. I am buying a little bit of the Titans resurgence. I just don't know what's going to happen with Tony Pollard. I'm a little curious as to what goes on with him. Emo, Cam Ward, grade 3 AC injury to throwing arm. Yeah, I missed that bit of news. I'll be honest, that one passed me by. So yeah, that's not ideal. Hopefully enough time for that to recover. I assume the timeline on that is he should be ready for everything, but yeah, don't love to see throwing arm shoulder injuries. Seems bad. Yeah, Chris agrees. Not great. Let me pull the board up, see what's going on. We'll check in on some friends real quick. Brooklyn Bum, or King of QC, we'll go in order here. Gibbs, Nico, AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Swift, and Hurts. So he gets the Hurts, AJ Brown, assuming AJ Brown remains where he's at. Ramondre Addison, Tony Pollard, Casey Concepcion, and CJ Stroud. So a nice start there from King of QC. All right. James Conner is here. And this is such a nightmarish range for receivers, for everything really. Bretton Strange, a bit of a fall, but I don't really want to take a third tight end in this spot. Jalen McMillan will continue taking Tampa Bay receivers. And then let's take Omar Cooper Jr. I think that seems good. One of the big dominoes left to fall, Romeo Doubs. There was some rumor of him with Denver, which makes me a little more nervous on my Pat Bryant shares, but until that's official, we're going to continue to wonder where Doubs is going. Oh, Emo, it's old news that happened late in the season, but okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember something with him, but that sounded more serious than I'd heard. Chris said no surgery for Ward, just strengthening and rehab. But shoulders are tricky because they don't heal well and are more likely to be re-injured. Yeah, we've seen that from quarterbacks in the past. Like the shoulder stuff can really muck with them. Like some of the struggles that Baker was having. Like in some of his down years, I think some of that was shoulder related, and then when he's fully healthy, he looks great. So hopefully we can avoid that from Cam Ward. Emo agreeing there. So let's check in on Brooklyn Bum. He's got Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Egbuka, Waddle, Pierce, Metcalf, Laporta, Goff, Malik Willis, Jordan Mason, Rashad White, and Mark Andrews. So Rashad White, the probably biggest running back yet to sign. If he goes to Jacksonville, I am going to be distraught because I have not been taking Rashad White or Bishal Tootin, and I don't want to have none of the Liam Cohen running game. So that seems bad. That seems bad if that's where he ends up going. But we'll see. I did think the Jags were going to add a running back if they didn't re-sign Etienne. So far they haven't. So I've heard tale of people taking LeQuint Allen now. I don't know if I'm ready to do that, but in round 19-20, you can get away with such things. Bird Enthusiast says Jeremy Bernard to Ravens. Book it. All right. Bird Enthusiast calling his shot there with the Ravens adding Jeremy Bernard. We'll see. I've been taking Jeremy Bernard. I don't know if he's risen anywhere. Let me see what his ADP is at. It was... Is he still in the 212? I think that's around where he was when I left. I see Michael Penix down here. That could be a nightmare with him and Tua. Feels like a decent chance that that neither of them, that they both play around 8.5 games. So we'll see. Greg, we've been taking LeQuint Allen. Greg, you heard it there. Greg in on LeQuint. All right, let's see. What do we want to do here? Oh man, let's see what King of QC does. I think I got to take Brissett with Michael Wilson on here. Brissett's got to be a nice riser. Let's add Jacoby Brissett to this team. And you know what? We'll take Charbonnet. We'll hope he's the late season hammer at running back. Seattle hasn't added anybody. So either they're going to draft someone or just try to bridge it to the late season with running backs. So we got Darnold and Sharbs on this team. For the audio listeners, we're up to a 3-5-5-2. We got Caleb, Darnold, and Jacoby Brissett. Running back room of Bijan, Chase Brown, Cam Scatterbo, Kenny Gainwell, and Zach Charbonnet. Wide receivers of Olave, Michael Wilson, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, and Omar Cooper Jr. And then Colston Loveland, Kyle Pitts at tight end. I feel like this is kind of a fun team. Wide receivers, certainly a little thin past Olave, but that again depends on what you think of Michael Wilson quite a bit. And then the two Tampa guys. So far, so good. Blue list, let's check in on you. JSN, Love, Breece Hall, Mike Evans, Quinshad Judkins. So 3 running backs through 5. Sutton, Fannin, Purdy, Dowdle, Reed. Wow, Mike Washington picked 126. The times have changed. Mendoza, Danny Dimes, Hunter Henry, and Pat Bryant. I like all the guys there, but yeah, I can't believe this Mike Washington price. Is that where he goes now? What's his ADP? 147. Okay. So I don't know if that's a real 147 and you reached, or if it just the ADP hasn't adjusted yet. Chris asking, what's Likely's value, Chad? How does it feel now that he's out of Baltimore? I feel like it's pretty good. He said he wanted to go somewhere where he was going to kind of be the primary. I don't think Theo Johnson is any like incredible talent. I think he was just kind of there. So I'm okay with it. I'm in on it. I'm definitely buying Likely at cost here. Emo Cowboy says, I'll leave Tootin and LaQuinta in, Fugazi to the masses. Well, I'm glad you're saying that on Tootin. It makes me feel better, Emo. Because I do not like my full fade on Tootin right now. It feels extremely uncomfortable. And it's one of those things where, like, you make a bet and you're like, all right, I feel good about this bet. And then you lose the bet and you have to be like, I like the process. And now I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I like the process. I think I just messed up. I should have been taking some Tootin. Especially because my thesis was if they didn't add anyone, he was going to rise. I was just so sure someone was coming in. But boy, I was wrong there. Torrey Horton, he was a guy I liked. Them signing Shaheed feels so weird. They didn't really use him. They like got traded for Shaheed, and then he was like kind of a peripheral player. But then they re-signed him, which was surprising to me. Doesn't make me love Horton. Bigsby, I think, would have been on this team. All right, let us take Horton because this is a Darnold team, and Ridley. Let me take Ridley first. Yeah. All right, let's do Horton. I know I just said that I think he's a loser in this, but again, we can bet on the second-year breakout on a guy, especially because we have a Seattle situation here. But I'm overall not super happy for my Horton bags that they brought Shaheed back. Emo Cowboy says, Tootin is fumble-prone Chuba at cost last year. I have heard. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. If Emo Cowboy's out, I'm going to continue to be out. To be fair, I didn't think he was that great. He had one 20-yard run, and that came in their playoff game for a guy that we were drafting because they were supposed to be the fastest man alive. I do not love it. I do not love it. That said, felt like he was starting to potentially take over, and then he got hurt. But then when he came back, he fumbled again and went into the doghouse. So we'll see. Again, I'm just so surprised they haven't brought in someone super, anyone with any more capital. And I just hope it's not Rachaad White. Ultimate White Male is about to fade the whole player pool. So many terrible values. Well, Ultimate White Male, you will get the draft, and that will create some value once again. Just some of the rookies you might like are going to rise up, but we might see some of these veterans that people overreact to a rookie coming in fall. So you might get value back on the table. You're just going to have to wait a few weeks, I guess. But yeah, seeing someone like Mike Washington at pick 126 does feel like some of the game we love has changed. Bird enthusiast Kamara to Cancun. It's possible. Or it's just going to be really annoying. Emo Cowboy, the Slappies are so enamored with small sample size who lost pass work to Allen. Meh. I mean, they say LeQuinn is this just great pass blocker, but pass protector. But wouldn't you want Tootin on the field if he is that explosive? Like, just forego a little bit of that pass blocking prowess for a guy who's supposed to be a game breaker? I don't know, it kind of makes you wonder. I'm with you there. I might just be a Tootin fader dead ender. We'll see. All right, here's some more, some more dust balls. Good golly. All right, I think we have some names. We like the Caleb Johnson era. Lasted about 45 minutes. Pretty bad run out. Pretty bad run out. There were definitely some Caleb truthers who, those bags are deader than dead, barring some kind of catastrophic injury situation there. Let's see what King of QC does. I've got a couple names I'd be willing to take here. I just don't know if LeQuinn Allen is in that name. We're up to a 3-5-7-2. Marvin Mims was not one of the names. I think I like this Brashard Vele situation. If they are serious about working in Brashard, he could be kind of fun in this situation, especially if they continue to not make Ken Walker a bell cow. Brashard could get some pretty fun high-value touches, and we're going to consider Vele a little bit of a winner with the Saints not signing a big name. Of course, they could sign like Romeo Dobbs today, and then I'll wish I didn't have much Devon Vele, but it is round 19, and we did have Olave on this team, so we're going to make another little bit of a bet on the Saints. So we're up to a 3-6-8-2. For the audio listeners, we've got Caleb, Darnold, and Brissett, Bijan, Chase Brown, Scatabo, Gainwell, Charbonnet, and Brashard Smith. Wide receiver room of Olave, Michael Wilson, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Omar Cooper Jr., Calvin Ridley, Torrey Horton, Devon Vele. And then the tight end room is our showpiece here with Loveland and Pitts. I also feel like Pitts kind of a sneaky winner in this. They did not add much to the receiving game. They didn't really add much of anything in Atlanta there. Olamide Zaccheaus, of course, he's always just annoying. But I believe I don't think he's in the player pool. I think I heard someone say that. Oh no, he is. Somebody lied to me. Who is it that was just signed that's not in the player pool? There were people talking about it. Anyway, I do not want to draft Olamide Zaccheaus, but I don't think he's any great threat to what we have in Atlanta. Chris says, I'm fading a guy taking Ken Walker at 30 so I can take him at 31 in my online pre-draft slow. The risers dropping Jacobs to 30 seems like value. Yeah, certainly. And again, another potentially sneaky-ish winner of this was Josh Jacobs. They didn't bring anyone in. Certainly could add somebody in the draft in Green Bay, but probably no one of any huge significance there. Honestly, because there really aren't too many significant running backs in this class at this point, having seen what we saw at the combine. Yeah, Jacob seems like he's kind of a guy that if we're gonna fall, I'm happy to scoop him up. And Frog Clone GM to my fellow Teuton hater. It's not hate. I just think he's over. I thought he was overpriced because they're gonna add somebody. Now I'm talking myself into him being overpriced because he's not that good, but he's in a really good situation. But again, as Emo Cowboy noted, losing work to LaQuint Allen. I don't know. You have this electric player, and you're taking him off the field. It does make you wonder. All right, I think I'll take a second or third tight end with this last pick versus these dust balls. I could take like Slayton, who might be a small winner from this, but I'd rather add Michael Mayer because I think he's live. He's certainly live to get traded, and if Geno gets hurt, I think he's one of the few tight ends that has legitimate contingent value. So Michael Mayer was my last pick there. So that rounds out that team. Nick, first of all, GM2, appreciate you coming in. Thoughts on Rome now still fading? Yeah, I just don't love Rome Odunze. I probably should add some of him. I thought DJ Moore was going to leave, but I don't know if the market did. So it was one of those, the thing we all thought would happen happened, and then it's like not priced in. So, I don't think, by the way, Pete's live at 10 today, right? I just want to make sure he's not about to go on because I'd rather not start if he's about to go live in 10 minutes. Okay, no, he goes live at noon. So we got clear air here. Let's hop in another one. Appreciate y'all coming in though and hanging out. If you can, please drop a like, drop a sub. Those things help so much. Well, not the bigger board. I mean, we could, but oh, developer mode. All right, let me hop into on my phone. But yeah, while I'm doing that, oh my gosh, and I got logged out. Hold on. I got some trouble here. Oh no. All right. 1 second. I got to figure this out because I don't remember my password and I'm trying to log in on my phone and I'm going to get locked out and have real problems. So let me see if I can do it on another tab. Oh my God. All right. All right. Give me 1 second. I got to figure this out. That's not right. All right, sorry, I know this is scintillating stuff here. This is why people aren't liking the video. Because I'm like logging in. All right. I'm in on my phone. This is good news. And all right. All right, we're in. Waiting for six. Dear God. I did not want to get locked out and then have to email Underdog support on here. So there we go. If anyone wants to get in, now we're waiting for four. A Frog Clone says, I would describe what I have as hate. What did Teuton do to you? Why do you hate him? Why do we hate Teuton? I think he costs too much in this. Did his fumble cost you? Are you secretly, even more anti-fumbling than Liam Cohen? Ultimate White Male says there's probably jamming the other morning well, I don't think I mean, I don't think Pete is any of those things, and I certainly don't think I am you know, I don't think Pete is attacking this stream, but certainly that would you know, would would be one way to maintain a time slot, I suppose. All right, let's see. Waiting for 3. If anyone wants to get on in. Let's look at the ADPs. Has anything? I'm trying to see. So Ken Walker here is up to 24. That's clearly a fake ADP. Don't know if Bucky's fallen, although it does seem like to me he should. Jacobs does look like he stood pat. Etienne, what do we think of Etienne? Does he kind of stay where he's at, or is he going to rise or fall? I do wonder that. I kind of wonder what we're making of Etienne now. We continue to see Scatabo fall as the concern about Jeremiah Love gets more and more serious, although, you know, maybe we at least dodged the free agency stuff. We'll see. RJ Harvey looks like he's fallen. There's Swift has stayed the same. Tootin, this has to be fake, 70. That's going to keep rising. And we got pick 7. So the influencer picking is over. It's over. JT Binninger, he's in the room at 3. Brooklyn Bum at the 6. Blueless at the 8. And if anyone else is in here, let me know. We will get this draft underway. Chris says Etienne went at 28 in my slow. So that's a little up. That's interesting to me because it's like the Saints, until we know what's going on with Kamara, that doesn't feel amazing. Because if they keep Kamara, I don't think he just like disappears. I don't know. I'm very worried the Saints are the kind of like team and organization that's just going to want to give Kamara touchdowns occasionally to keep him happy. Maybe that's like Giga vibes, but that's just this like gut feeling I have that we could be, the Saints are out of playoff contention, but it's our playoffs and we care a ton. And just like, oh, let's get Kamara 2 touchdowns because it's his last home game and we get like totally screwed. I don't know. It scares me that we could have that happen. Chris says Kamara is dusty and Shuck will score points. Yeah, I think the offense is great. I think it's a good spot. Incumbency can be very valuable. So I don't know if Kamara is gonna want to just be there and be content getting like 8 touches a game. All right, let's see. We're coming up. Hey, Go Easy Cards. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out, asking, have we talked about how the Miami QB situation will make London to the moon and Waddle not live up to ADP? PSGM GM. Why? All right, hold on. I'm confused what this has to do with London. You gotta let me think that through. I'm gonna take a Lamb here. Let's go wide receiver first. We just did a early running back team. Let's switch it up here. Okay, Waddle will make London to the moon. Are you saying now that they have Penix and Tua that's better? I'm very curious. I don't know. I think Willis probably can support 1 wide receiver. So I'm not too worried about Waddle. Again, I'm worried about like the Dolphins get a tight end and we're all really excited and it's kind of a bust. Like I don't think there's going to be a lot of fantasy relevant players, but I think those that are could be pretty good. Yeah, I'm with you. Sell me on London. I think we were happy with London before. I just don't know how much I like want to raise him up. Yeah, Tua to Atlanta. Greg says, Cards, you fired up on asking about Tua in the dome. Tua is better than Willis. Oof. I don't know, man. Tua was pretty mediocre. Greg says, I can get behind that fever of dream. Tua comeback player of the year. I don't know, man. I have nothing against Tua. I'm gonna root for him, but I don't know if it was all the concussions or the physical injuries or what, but it just, I'm not getting there. Wow, big rise in this room for Chase Brown. Goes at pick 16. Interesting there. I would like to get more Trey McBride. I don't know if I want to do it on this team. I think I'll just stick. I think I'm going to be a coward and just take Saquon here. I'll take cover by saying the machine wants me to take Saquon. So we'll do that. We got CD Lamb, Saquon. And tell ourselves that this is our generation's Lamb Amon-Ra week 17 game you needed 3 years ago. Frog Clone says, for passing volume, I'm not sure it's that much of an upgrade to... I do personally think it's an upgrade to Penix. And I guess we'll find out in training camp who wins the gig. I think the competition can only be good there. Yeah, I think they have two competent quarterbacks, and maybe Penix needs to kind of learn from a guy like Tua. You have two lefties, which I actually think is not insignificant, because like protection schemes are different for a left-handed and right-handed quarterback. Like the blind side is different if you have the opposite. So I actually think it's kind of sharp almost to have two lefties if you want to really giga-brain it. But yeah, I think Tua could step in there and be all right, but I don't know. Something just seems like it just stopped working for him, and maybe he just needed a change of scenery. Arlex says, I don't get it. Who do we think Miami would end up with? That would be much better. We were in on That's true too. We were really live to have Quinn Ewers. We were so live to have Quinn Ewers. I'm with you, Arlex. Frog Clone, how you feeling about K9 at 14, Chad? Yeah, we talked about that at the open. I am in on it only because I don't want to have none of it. But I think we might be double counting again. Like, we knew Ken Walker was a free agent, and maybe we think he got the absolute best spot. So I don't know, because he rose from when this contest opened, and then he just rose again. Hold on. We are going to be making our pick here. The machine wanted AJ Brown. Now it wants Rashee Rice, I assume. Let's see, unless it flips it. All right, we'll listen to the sidekick. Just cruise along. We're gonna cruise along. We got Saquon, Lamb, and Rashee Rice here. So yeah, again, it could be the case where we knew he could go to a better situation, but are we doing the thing where the thing we thought could happen happened, and now we're reacting to it yet again? Murray over Willis, and Arizona has to pay Murray like Russell when Denver cut him. Okay. Sorry, Go AZ Cards. So I'm assuming you're not happy with the Cardinals' decision there, or you were saying the Dolphins should have taken Kyler, and that when we had Waddle, we were paying like Kyler prices. Which I guess if you think that, then I could see why you'd think Waddle is a loser here. Ricky Beers, hey, first of all, good morning to you, Ricky. Hope you're having a great day. Raiders. Ricky, why am I hearing things that Mendoza might not start week 1? Please tell me that's just like March nonsense, because I need Mendoza week 1. I need him starting first snap of the season. I need to see him out there. Go AZ Cards, it's been a minute. How many big boards have you done? This is close to 100, I think. I think I have either have 50 or 51 left. So too many. Too many to not have Bayshell Tootin at all. I'll say that. Bukowski, good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day. If the Vikings sign a free agent quarterback, instead of going with McCarthy, do you move Jefferson up? No, only because I don't know who he flips even in that circumstance. Like, I guess for me, the difference between like pick 9 and 12 isn't that great because you do get fallers in that range, and it's like you're probably going to combine them with the same guys in the second round anyway. So I just don't think he moves into like pick 6, 7 range. Like I don't think he flips any of Amon-Ra, Lamb, or JSN. It's just, I guess, a question of do you start preferring him to some of these running backs? But I also feel like we're pricing in an improvement in QB play. All right, so we got Saquon, Lamb, and Rice. We could take Devonta here and build a little bit of a bet on the Eagles. We could also take Devonta and build a bet on the Cowboy. All right, machine, I'm going to listen to you. We'll see how this machine lands the plane. We're going to turn the keys over to the sidekick here. We got Lamb, Saquon, Rice, and Devonta Smith. Javonte goes with the very next pick. But yeah, Bukowski, talking it out, he probably does rise. Again, I just feel like we're now really excited about Genty. James Cook is kind of James Cook. Like, nothing's really happened with him, but he seems kind of anchored here. I could see him maybe flipping Cook. I could see him maybe flipping A-Chain if people talk themselves out of the Dolphins. So maybe that's like 2 guys I see him going ahead of. I personally would probably put him over CMC, but I'm just out on CMC this year. 3. But again, there's a chance I end up with the same like 2v2s anyway. On the K9 subject, says Frog Clone, I'm out because I'm at 30%, but I'll be back during... Hey, that's a great job. I mean that with sincerity. That is really nice to have a stand that big on a player who did get that like 24 pick rise to where you're getting like a full round of ADP value, not just someone that like slid across the board and you're just mixing them up with different people. You're gonna project a lot better with those teams that got him at like pick 35, 36 versus the people getting them at pick 12 and 13. Not that those picks 12 and 13 are dead, because you're still getting like Tet or Ladd or Burden. I'm gonna leave Bucky off the list because that's gross. But yeah, or like Josh Allen, but yeah, that is a nice position to have. Chris said, why is Trey McBride going ahead of Brock Bowers? Serious question. I think just last year we finally saw what McBride could do with a quarterback interested in getting him touchdowns. That said, we also saw Brock Bowers on the most dysfunctional team ever. We're really bad at pricing stuff sometimes, so I think it's recency. But I mean, McBride was incredible last year. I certainly see the argument for taking Bowers ahead of him from a talent perspective, but all right, Lamar goes. I mean, twist my arm, machine. Are you really gonna make me take Scatabo here? All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. We're top clicking here. Shady, notice me. We'll have to get Shady on sometime, so Shady can be apoplectic when I don't when I IKV the sidekick and I don't actually KV anything. But for the audio listeners, we got CeeDee Lamb, Saquon, Rashee Rice, Devonta Smith, and Cam Scatabo here. Go Easy Card says that the Dolphins should have taken Kyler. There are many who agree with you there. I'm choosing to believe. Ricky says, the thing is, who do you have at QB week 1 if it isn't Mendoza? The way the Raiders are moving, it looks like Mendoza will have a damn good O-line to be behind. That's a fantastic question. With Geno gone, I honestly don't know who the like veteran free agent quarterbacks are. Like, not him per se, but like your Drew Lock level, like competent-ish backup that you don't actually want to start. I don't know who's still out there in that range, if anyone. But yeah, like, why not? Just, if he's not going to get killed, like you said, because they have a decent offensive line, it doesn't make sense. Goazy Card says, better QB offset the money than they're paying Tua. However, Willis' 3-year contract will be less than Murray, so I understand the long run. Yeah, that's the thing. If they are doing a rebuild, year 3, if we're supposed to be competitive year 3, we'll have him on a reasonable deal, so I'm okay with it. We didn't have to give anything up to get it. All right, let's pull the board back up. I have to imagine for me, Hurts would be high on this list, but he's not. You know, with Saquon and Devonta, we do have a massive bet on the Eagles. The machine wants Tyson ahead of him. Alec Pierce goes. He's big riser. Kind of intriguing there that he's up so much. Burrow goes. Man, this is a tough spot. I'm very intrigued by Monty at this price. The machine wants Monty. All right, we'll go Monty. Again, I'm very surprised that the sidekick does not have Jalen Hurts recommended here, but we're top clicking. It's Top Click Tuesday. It's a new segment we're doing that we just created here. We don't know if we'll stick with that, but we have this draft. Other than taking Lamb over CMC, we have been top clicking, and I like the team so far. So we will see what happens. Bukowski says it feels like he is in purgatory. Are you talking about sorry, let me see who you're talking. Oh, Jefferson. Yeah. It does seem like the play has to get better, right? I mean, they're probably at this point have to add Kyler or like Cousins, which is definitely going to be better than McCarthy. Go Easy Cards, who has more wins? Miami versus Arizona. Not feeling good about my chances. Friendly wager between stud influencer and drunk drafter. Oh, the only thing I've ever been called on stream was an emaciated Kirk Cousins, which I felt like was unfair. I don't think I look emaciated. But appreciate that, Go Easy Cards. I think I'd take the Cardinals side of that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, to be honest with you. I'm still bearish on the Dolphins. I just think they're actually going to be fun to watch now. Is it bad I like Christian Watson love stacks? Absolutely not. I think Watson love stacks are fun. Arlock's asking my scat exposure. Let me pull that up after my next pick or the pick after. I can try to get that. Will Chad Candles do a repeat and try to get 100% exposure and a player in a single contest? If so, who's on the top of said list? I don't know yet. It'll probably be some rookie that I'm way too in on. But I do like that. And let me explain what he's talking about for those of you who were not around last season. Man, I am so in on Michael Wilson, and the machine is so not. This might be where we diverge. I would have taken Ramondre. I would have listened to you, machine. That said, I'm gonna top click. We're gonna top click. It's Top Click Tuesday, and I think Mahomes makes a ton of sense. The machine loves him. We have Rashee Rice. Let's go. Wheels up. Wheels up, machine. You and I versus the world and everyone else who uses this idea. Yeah, so Go Easy Cards is alluding to in the Badge Bros Brawl, I said I was going to get 100% or as close as reasonably possible to Scatabo last year. So I had 89% Scatabo in 130 drafts. And week 10 or 11, I was advancing 65% of my teams in that contest, and it was like top 1 out of 6 advance. So I just had an absolutely bananas advance rate. And then he got hurt. And I think I finished with literally an average advance rate, like exactly what you were expected, like 20 whatever teams. So it didn't work, but it almost really worked. I also think it'd be fun to do that in maybe the puppy's too big, but you one of those 20 max contests, whatever dog breed, just say this is the Fannin contest and just try to get Fannin every draft. And just say if Fannin's the guy you need, I'm going to crush this contest. I think it's kind of fun to do that. And that way you can just, you can make that contest really heavily weighted to one player without like getting overweight in your overall portfolio or getting crazy in like BBM. Just so that it's fun. One of those like $3.20 max contests. Just be like, this is it. This is the Jordan Addison contest or whoever your player du jour is. The machine wants Jackson Dart here. Oh my gosh, are we listening to the machine? All right, machine. I'm top. It's top click Tuesday. Oh my god. It's gonna auto me Jackson Dart. Okay, we're fine. Top click Tuesday. All right, Jackson Dart, welcome to the crew. Paired with Cam Scatabo, what could go wrong? And second part of the question, who would be on said list? Could be Scatabo again. No, it's a lot easier to do Scatabo, especially in the Badge Bros Brawl, because he wasn't even 100% owned in that contest. His ADP was past the line where he was mostly owned, so I could wait till the last round. I usually took him in the second to last round, because the last round I was taking like QB stacks or whatever, or tight ends or whatnot. I don't know who that would be this year. I don't have a player I'm like totally in love with, but I will definitely let the people know if and when that happens. Good says, new coaching staff. What if Brissett doesn't simply throw 60 times a game? There is that risk. And again, I think you're onto something, Goods. I don't think early in the season they're going to want to do that. So they're definitely live to like start out the year kind of normal and give Algier and Connor the ball a lot. I imagine they could try to come out kind of run heavy. Brissett's not very good. I don't think the way to win is to let him throw 60 times. But I think that's when you're just like, who cares? Let's try to get Trey McBride all the tight end records. So I do agree that there are some concerns. But we have seen what can happen in garbage time with that. Best ball on call, 25 likes. All right. Love to see that. If we can get that to 30, I would be really happy. I'd appreciate it. Don't know what we're at now. Also, if you can, drop a sub. We're on the road to 750 subs. We're trying to get there. All right, let's see. What does the machine want us to do, though? Another quarterback? Oh my god. I just can't believe it's like it's asking for a third quarterback. All right, sidekick. We're gonna listen. We'll take Brock Purdy. We're gonna listen to the sidekick. Top click Tuesday. So we take Mahomes, Dart, and Purdy back to back, round 7, 8, 9, and we're gonna see what happens. I haven't done this. I have never done a draft where I top click the whole thing. I'm gonna count this as that draft because I don't think the sidekick minds in the first round which one you take. It then adjusts. So we're gonna count this. But you will get my commentary as I cope over it. Oh yeah, the scat exposure. Oh, I was avoiding that. All right, let's see. Completed pre-draft exposure. All right. Overall exposure, number 1, Kyle Pitts, 39.5. Emmett Johnson, 37.8. That's terrible. I wish that wasn't the truth, but it is. Mendoza, 36.1. I think Firemuth, sneaky winner, 31.9%. Malik Willis, 31.9. Michael Wilson, 31.9. Mike Washington, 31.9. All right, where are you, Scat? 29.4. 29.4. Let me get back to the draft. We can go, if you want, after this draft, I could go over these, and then maybe we'll do one more draft. But there it is. There it is. Yeah, go Devils. 100% go AZ Cards. Go Sun Devils. Arlock says Chad versus Machine is entertaining. I appreciate that. Oh, the machine wants Gadsden. I'm not taking Gadsden there. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I think Charlie Kolar is like sneaky bad for the Chargers. All right, Gadsden goes. What do you want me to do? I don't want Jonah Coleman. Oh, I don't like Jonah Coleman. I want to take Xavier Worthy. It's a stack. And we're so far past ADP. I'm doing it, guys. I'm taking Worthy. We're double stacking Mahomes. I'm sorry that we failed the mission. But that's like nice ADP value, and we have Mahomes. The machine will figure it out. I'm sorry, machine. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to pass on the double. You guys can disagree there. I mean, it's not like Worthy is any great shakes there. They brought back Thornton. I don't know. But that was a lot of ADP value, and we get the double stack. I also don't like Jonah Coleman. We'll see. Greg says Kolar and Ingold clearing the way for Hampton is going to be sweet. Yeah. Again, Kolar, I think is going to be take away a lot of snaps for Gadsden. I have some legitimate fear about that. Not that I think Gadsden goes to 0 by any means, but it could turn him into a 55-60% snap player. We'll see. All right, let's see. Jake Bittiger, tisk. Oh yeah, on failing Top Click Tuesday. I know. Steven says, I wonder about these machines if they're worth it. Seems no one follows them and always takes someone else. Well, that's not the machine's fault, Steven. That's a me problem. That's a me problem. Yeah. I really probably should have, because I said I was going to do it, but it's hard. You get these principles. Like, I want to stack my guy. I have, like, collecting ADP value. But the Sims, no. The Sims, no. We will listen to... Oh, I don't want Debo, though. I hate Debo. Please, Brooklyn, take Debo. Please. I don't want Debo. All right, we're going to second click. I'm going to take Kincaid, guys. We need a tight end. I hate Debo. The machine's going to figure something else out. Debo actually might also be there because his ADP is there. So that was a second click. So we're, Worthy was fourth. Kincaid was second. We're not totally ignoring the sidekick. It's a list of suggestions. So we're going to be okay. I've completely failed the mission. Yeah, go easy cards. Candle's listening to machine about 9 rounds max. I hit my limit. We found what my limit is for listening to the sidekick. Send text legend. I remember telling you PPR Tyler was misleading everybody with that dumb ass Emmett Johnson stock. Well, you know what? I was part of the problem. I thought Emmett Johnson looked really good. I didn't think he was going to test well at the combine, but I didn't think he was going to test as badly as he did. So, Sentex, I do remember you warning us, the voice of reason, as we drove, PPR Tyler and I, Bonnie and Clyde, driving off the cliff together to our doom with massive Emmett Johnson bags. But maybe he gets a good landing spot. Nez says, Chad, are the Steelers a wagon? They are now that they do not have to pretend like Caleb Johnson is a thing. So, Nez, appreciate you coming in, hanging out. But yeah, I'm gonna give Steelers a wagon level, especially with Pittman. I mean, my goodness, this is a big ad. Oh my God, Debo's still here, and the machine wants us to take him. All right, we're back. We'll top click. We surrender. Brian the Goober, GM everyone. Brian, congratulations to you. For those who don't know, Brian's brother, G for Gumby, the 2026 NBA Dog Bowl champ, and would not have won but for Brian the Goober, his brother, his confidant, just the best wingman you could ask for out there in LA, winning the contest for one of the good guys. So congrats again to you and G for Gumby. Brian the Goober streams with G for Gumby, which when they're live, you absolutely should tune in. I think they do a little more NFL in the daily streets, so remember them when the season starts up again. But appreciate you, Brian, for coming in, hanging out. I'll answer it for him. Nez Frogclone says yes, Steelers are a wagon. Oh, let me get the board up for the people here. You can see what's going on. There goes Big Mike Washington, pick 139 here. Went at 120 something last time. Frogclone, Dean and JPJ, who's going to be able to throw on us? All right, so getting some defensive ball chatter in there, which always helps. Appreciate you stepping in there. It was Thelma and Louise. You know what? Ultimate White Male, you're right. They drove off the cliff. I don't know what Bonnie and Clyde did. I bet they would have driven off a cliff too, or drafted a lot of Emmett Johnson. Debo for the Purdy stack. Oof. God, that would get so messy. Bringing in just the Pearsall people would be in utter shambles. Go Easy Cards, way too early prediction. What offense will surprise us fantasy-wise? Good or bad? Hang on. Let me see what I'm going to ignore. Oh, it wants Travis Kelce. I like Travis Kelce. We're not going to ignore it. We will. I just want to make sure it didn't change its mind. All right, we'll take Travis Kelce. We're up to a 3-3-5-2. Again, we're back. We're listening. We took a little detour, but that's okay. Multi-sport athletes. Multi-sport. Oh yeah, no, I know the goobers. Absolutely, they got shot by the cops. Okay, yeah, mess that up. Mess that up. Greg got mowed down by a Tommy. Oh, spoilers! I'm gonna have to put that in the timestamp. Bonnie and Clyde spoilers. Bonnie and Clyde got okay. Yeah, see this. They say the fastest way to find something out on the internet. If I had asked what happened to Bonnie and Clyde, nobody would answer. But if I say Bonnie and Clyde drove off a cliff, the whole chat is going to tell me, no, they didn't. So again, they say the fastest way to get the answer on the internet is say something wrong, and someone will correct you. But appreciate you, because clearly I don't know ball with my vigilantes. Chris called the Kelce pick 12 comments ago sidekick Chris mind melt. I mean, it does have its favorites, and I don't think it has been a favorite since I've been drafting, just because I don't know how much they priced in retirement risk. Brian says, thanks, Chad. Team effort, really great event thrown by Underdog. If anyone ever has a chance to attend a DBQ, you have to. Oh, I 100% agree. I will be trying to get back this year, so fingers crossed that I get there and you get there too, Brian, because that would be awesome. I mean, I got to meet Go AZ Cards there, and it was electric. So again, we're gonna try to get back to the Dog Bowl. We're gonna try to finish better than 12th this time as well. Go AZ Cards, congrats, Brian the Goober. Yeah, everyone. It was like a community win. We were all rooting for you guys. No, the machine wants Vidal. I don't want Vidal. Please change your mind. I'm taking Emmett Johnson over Vidal. I'm going to take more Emmett Johnson. You can't make me. If Vidal's there on the wrap, fine. We took the second pick on the sidekick. Spoilers from a 1970s movie. Exactly. Yeah, I was talking about The Matrix with someone, and someone was like, I haven't seen that movie. I'm like, this movie came out like 30 years ago. Like, come on. There's a time limit on spoilers. I think Bonnie and Clyde, The Matrix, you're probably marked safe if you haven't seen it by now. What odds do you have that Mixon and Kamara play? So first, I think Kamara's going to come back. I don't know. He strikes me as someone that might want the annoying farewell tour. Mixon, I weirdly put it higher, have him asking for his release, because I think if he hung around, he might have gotten paid or something. Maybe I have that wrong, but I actually think I'm with Frog Clone. 5% feels right. 5 to 10% for Mixon. Probably not. I'd be very surprised if Mixon plays, but not shocked. Chris says 0 and 2. Oh, so completely out on both of them. Frogcoat says Vidal is RB2 locked. Is he? I didn't know. I don't know if I had heard that or thought that. But maybe I need to be taking more Vidal. I was a little skeptical that he was the locked in 2 in LA there. All right, the machine wants us to take Ridley. All right, sounds good. We'll take Ridley. So for the audio listeners, we've got Mahomes, Dart, and Purdy, Saquon, Scatabo, David Montgomery, and Emmett Johnson, CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy, Deebo Samuel, Calvin Ridley, and then Kincaid and Kelce. I don't mind this team. I feel like the sidekick's doing a good job. You could argue some of my IKBs weren't good if you think Vidal makes more sense here. I mean, we're getting Emmett Johnson now 40 picks past where we were taking him earlier pre-combine. We will have to see how much the combine really did change Emmett Johnson's outlook. it is possible that teams just know how fast he is from, the GPS tracking and all that sort of stuff. Don't really care too much about the combine things, or they really say, wow, this guy really measured slow AF. Not going to cut it in the league. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's the former, but I do think we're getting a pretty fair price on him now. Chris says, well, out on playing meaningful best ball relevant snaps. Yeah, that certainly is live to be 0. Brian the Goober says, thanks, AZ Cards. I documented the whole journey all weekend. We'll be uploading a video to the channel later this week. Oh, it better include the Muscle Beach segment. Brian and Gumby famously paid the $10 admission, worked out on Muscle Beach. They say it was just for the gram, but we know it was really for the love of the game and lifting. But yeah, definitely excited to see the video there. Hold on, we're gonna top click. We'll take Tank Dell. All right, we're up to 7 receivers. My goodness, we'll see what it wants us to do at running back. Go AZ Card says, Houston and Green Bay offenses will be who you need. San Francisco offense will disappoint for the injuries that will happen. I'm trying to think of a good answer for who's going to surprise. I have one. I don't even want to say it because I don't know if I believe it or if I'm just like trying to engagement bait. I could see the Bears being regressing. Like, I don't know. Like, because nobody thinks that could happen. Like, everyone thinks the Bears are going to continue taking a step forward. I don't know. What if they're not as good as we want? I don't even know if I believe that. I like the Bears. I don't think I believe that. I think that's something we say in like June when it's like totally dead. I do worry a little about the Jags. Kind of some weird stuff, weird vibes there. I could see them being worse. BTJ, the weird trade talks, moving Travis Hunter mostly to play defense. Do we really believe Parker Washington's good? T-Law, the jury's still out on him. I could see the Jags being kind of wonky. I don't know, though. I need to think about that. It's an interesting question. Miles Westfield, we get the name right today. First of all, GM to you. Appreciate you so much coming in, hanging out. Arlox, Keaton Mitchell is going to one of the Harbaughs. Yeah, that could send like Vidal to the Shadow Realm, certainly, something like that. Go Easy Card says to Brian, can't wait. Hopefully you caught you suggesting a player and Gumby overriding you. I love a great. Yeah, we need to see your contribution to the team. Miles says that Clear Mind EV paid off. I missed something there. All right, we'll take Kate Otten. Kate Otten back in Tampa. We like that. Copy paste laid. Panthers taking a wide receiver at 19 after 2 linebacker free agent signing. Book it. Yeah, that would be kind of interesting. I've been taking plenty of Coker, so as long as it's not like a slot receiver, it could end up being kind of fun there. I do worry about at a certain point how much Bryce Young is going to be able to support there. Yeah, Ultimate White Male, Brian and Gumby, jacked. Like clearly, you saw Brian in his appearance with Pete, Nez, and John. Just the greatest posture I've ever seen. I don't even know if I'm capable of sitting like that. Very impressive stuff there from G for Gumby. Chris says, did anyone notice how Caleb wasn't actually very good? Oh, see, there we go. There we go, Chris. I'm telling you, I don't know if I want to make that the hot take. Because, again, I don't know if I believe it. I really want Loveland to be good. We all want Burden to be good. I take plenty of Swift. There's so many fun fantasy pieces. I really don't want that to be true. Chris said it'd be nice if some draft site had an IDP best ball tournament. Doesn't drafters? Because I think PPR Tyler was talking about how he won an IDP best ball tourney. So I think those do exist. I just don't participate in them. Go easy cards. I'm expecting Washington to get steamed and Terry Daniels will fly up boards. BBM ADP. Why would they get steamed? I'm not saying this is wrong. I think they're actually both underpriced, but what's going to make the market agree with that take? I'm curious. The machine wanted us to take Singleton. We do not get him. The machine now wants Jeremy Bernard, so we'll take him. I'm really hoping I'm going to see a bunch of green here. Like, please show me a bunch of green, machine. Oh my God. Is it really just telling me to go to war with Saquon, Scatabo, Monty, and Emmett Johnson? Oh my God. And it would prefer a fourth tight end? I don't know. Top Click Tuesday is not as easy as it sounds, guys. I am very surprised by the way this the sidekick is telling me to draft. By influencers. Okay. I wouldn't know. I'm certainly not big enough to influence anything. But I will continue to take Terry and Daniels. Are you going to click Greg Dulcich? No. No, Game Tight. I don't know what would make me click Greg Dulcich. I think there would need to be like a masked man yelling at me to take Greg Dulcich, or he was going to like harm my family. I don't know. I don't think Greg Dulcich is on the docket. I don't know why that got so dark there. But yeah, I don't think I need Greg Dulcich. Chris says Daniels healthy week 1 of preseason could see his ADP rise. I just thought we were assuming Daniels was fine, right? I don't know that we're baking in he's injured now versus like we saw. Remember like his rookie year, there was the FUD that he was like flimsy and he didn't avoid contact. He was going to get hurt and then he survived the season. So suddenly all those worries went away. And then the thing we all were all worried about happened. We're just so bad at like measuring risk here. Putting eyeballs on it does matter. Oh, okay. Seeing him in preseason. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Chris, that just feels so far away. Game Tight saying Willis to Dulcich could be a thing. I feel like I've believed in Greg Dulcich before, and I just don't know if I can do it. I just can't believe the machine wants another receiver here. I'm going to put Slayton on here. I know we're top clicking, but I do think it makes sense with Dart. I don't have much Slayton, so this is more of a personal exposure thing. I'm just so surprised it's not having me take a running back. It's literally going to build me a hyper fragile team. Crazy. It wants Darnell. It wants all these receivers over another running back. I guess it's just saying Saquon, Scatabo, Monty. If that's not doing it, none of these guys are. We will see. I mean, I think spiritually taking Slayton versus Bell, I do think we're in alignment. I just don't know if I can take Darnell Washington over a running back here, guys. I don't think I can do it. I don't know. I don't want to get yelled at by Sack and Shady. It's because all the running backs left are live for 0 points. Yeah. But so are the other guys. Man, that's tough. That's tough. This touchdown guy, he's got 10 receivers himself. Dear God. Dear God. How many likes are we at, by the way? Let's see if we could, maybe we can do one more draft. But that's all going to depend on the people here. What are we at? 30. Can we get to 35? We'll do another draft. Can we do that? I don't know. I think we can. I think we can get to 35. That would be fantastic. Chris says biggest lock of the sports world next week. Penn State's Mitchell Meisenbrink for another NCAA wrestling championship. You heard it here first from Chris. You heard it here first. You know what I'm doing? I'm taking my guy Brashard Smith. This is a little IKB, and we have Mahomes. I am more than happy to do that. He is buried on the sidekick. Don't care. I'm doing it. I think Rashard Smith is live to have some spike weeks. So there we go. For the audio listeners, we tried to top click. We couldn't quite do it. But I think we did better than we expected. But we got Mahomes, Dart, and Purdy. So we took 3 quarterbacks again in round 7 through 9. Saquon, Scatabo, David Montgomery, Emmett Johnson, and Rashard Smith. Lamb, Rashi Rice, Devonta Smith, Xavier Worthy, Debo Samuel, Calvin Ridley, Tank Dell, Jeremy Bernard, and Darius Slayton. And then Kincaid, Kelsey, and a very mature tight end room. I actually kind of like this team. I think this team's kind of fun. I took some guys I don't normally take, like Debo and Slayton. The machine really made us uncomfortable. Again, you could argue I chickened out by taking a 5th running back, even if it's kind of a fig leaf. But I do think Rashard Smith, I think he could be kind of fun. We'll see. He could also be the fanciest 0 on the board here. All right, so let's see. Did we get 35? Did we hit it? We did. All right, 35. All right, we'll do one more, and then I got to hop. Do one more draft. But we might be in developer mode. We're in developer mode. All right, I'm going to join on my phone and then get on in here. So let's see. But again, appreciate all of you so much. Oh, that was draft 100, by the way. So I'll be waiting for 5. You want to get in? Get on in. Again, appreciate the likes. Really appreciate the subs. You know, channel's growing slowly but surely, but it's been so much fun doing it with all of you. We'll see how much we pay attention to the kick in this draft. Go easy cards. Daniels will get steamed up because he was a Sun Devil early on. Yeah. We got the 7 again. Golly. Yeah, that was unfortunate because it was the Dungy era at ASU, and it was pretty. I mean, Herm Edwards era, and it was pretty god awful. It was pretty god awful. Craig says, "How about some Ollie Gordon benefiting?" I have such a hard time believing in Ollie Gordon, but if they don't add anyone or draft someone, he could end up being a decent click. We'll see. I feel like Ollie Gordon did not look very good, but he for me is a BBM guy because I don't think he's going to rise very much. But yeah, it could be not terrible. Beastberg, GMTU, appreciate you so much coming in. I see you in at the 11. Thanks for coming in, hanging out this morning. Greg says the only good thing that, gosh, you're so bearish on Willis. I'm excited. Chris saying to find a way to bet it. All right, if you've got your college wrestling books. Enchan Birds 1. Hey, first of all, good morning to you. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Chris, a PSU team title is just as big a lock. All right, well, I mean, we're getting some wrestling. You're getting all the alpha here. You're getting all the alpha here in this channel. Stefan says, do you think Underdog should put how many drafts you've done in the contest next to your name while drafting? I have never drafted on drafters. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe. Let me make my pick, and then I have like a kind of a tangential thought on that. I will take Taylor if Taylor's gone. Actually, I really don't like CMC. I'm gonna just pull Genty up here. I'm just gonna grab our guy at pick 7. We're gonna switch it up a little. Kind of a quasi board flip ish, sort of, kind of, not exactly, but maybe pair Genty with someone he doesn't normally go with at pick 18. We'll see. Yeah, so I do have a fear that some of these overlays and tools in addition are going to start tracking like opponents' stuff and tendencies, and so you're going to get an even bigger divide in haves and have-nots. So that kind of information is going to be available to a select few. Like, these overlay tools could pull from something like BBMDB and say how many drafts you did last year. It could probably figure out if someone's a sharp drafter or not. Like, I think that information's out there, and it's only a matter of time before you know, people with the sidekick or people with the solver or whatever have that kind of like almost like a poker HUD. So maybe if more of that is transparent for everyone, that would be better. I don't know. That's just a thought I've had. Go easy cards. McBride, Bowers, Loveland could be who you need, but I love punting tight end so far. It does feel nice punting tight end. It really does, because there are some late tight ends that are intriguing. Greg says 30% Scatterbo to 100. That's a lot, Chad. If they draft Mr. Hold on one second. If they draft Mr. Love, it definitely is a lot. Too much, you could argue. Too much. Beastburf says, I typed wrestling into Kalshi and got who will attend Hulk Hogan's funeral. That is incredible. So do we want to get Trey McBride on this team? The machine wants us to do it. All right, let's take Trey McBride. We'll do Genty McBride. But I think this is a combo that'll be a little less common. I think Genty tends to go here, and that's early for McBride. So maybe, maybe we're getting a little different. Chris said Josh Jacobs fell to 31 at the slow. Let's go. By the way, yeah, do we have any alpha on this, on the Hulk Hogan funeral? It's kind of morbid. Arlox, is NHL playoff best ball in your future? Arlox, I don't think I could name 5 active NHL players. I'm sorry. It is not in my future. I do not know enough puck. I have so much respect for those who do. I love watching hockey, but I do not have the time to follow it week to week. Chad, someone has to play for the Dolphins that isn't named H. I know, but maybe it's some rookie they bring in, because God, Wright is so bad. I don't know. Chris says Lamb, Bowers, Jacobs to start a draft. That's a great start. That is a cool start. Go easy cards. Will Candles line up BBM guests this year to draft BBMs? Yeah, I'm more than happy to have people on. I will definitely be doing that. And go easy cards. It could even be you. So we'll have to set that up. Enchant Birds, how high are you on taking Ken Walker now? I would have taken Walker at 18 if I didn't even want to say the name in case Texas Fox 82 is lurking. I think I'm just going to take him at cost and try to be like at market. I think I'm overweight. Let me make my pick and then I'll see how much Walker I have, and hopefully I'm not like bitterly disappointed. All right, we got Genty McBride. See what big... All right, so AJ Brown goes. What's Iceman Price doing? Let's see what he does. He takes Brees. I think my preference here is actually Kyron. Kyron is such a boring pick, but I think he's just going to score a bunch of touchdowns. I've said this before. This is another pull the string Chad Candles thing, but I think some of these touchdowns in for the Rams are going to revert to the running game. I think they were making a conscientious effort to get Stafford the MVP. I really think that was part of getting those like 2-yard touchdown passes to Devontae Adams. If much of that goes back to the running game, I think Kyron at cost is a smash. I think Corum is a fine pick at his ADP. So we will take Kyron there. All right, yeah, let me see how much Ken Walker I have before completed. Walker. All right, 15.8%. So can't complain. That's almost twice the field. Not one of these people who have like 30 plus. Not going to screenshot that, but definitely happy with my my Ken Walker position as of now. Chris said PSU is 100% locked to win the team title. No argument. I was focusing only on the individuals. Only question is the Penn State team if they reset the team scoring record in consecutive years. There we go. Well, go Nittany Lions. Go Nittany Lions. Copy paste late. How high are you on Mike Evans, DJ Moore? Ugh, I don't like DJ Moore. I was fading him before. I probably should take some, especially with Shakir being hurt. I just hate it so much. I feel like he's dusty. I feel like they overpay. But that doesn't matter. We're playing fantasy football, and the wide receiver one in Buffalo is someone you should take. That said, I think I just windmill in Lad here. That seems good. We'll just take Lad. Running back again, going off a cliff here. Get this Scatabo Judkins range where I just always seem to get Scatabo somehow. Who could have foreseen this? Mike Evans, I think he's fine. I don't think I'm trying to like giga jam him, but I think Mike Evans is a nice click. Where is he going now? Evans, pick 61. That feels about right. Where is Moore? 65. Gosh. That's probably fine too. I hate capitulating on the DJ Moore stuff. Miles says, if my Giants take Love, I'm gonna revoke my fandom. I'm with you. If I was a Giants fan, I would be furious. I'm a Scatabo fan and a guy with too much Scatabo on my teams. But it does feel like they have so many bigger problems than running back. Because even if Scat isn't 100%, Tyrone Tracy's fine. He's serviceable. Like, you don't need it. You don't need it. Unless they think it's like Bijan with Atlanta. But how's that worked for Atlanta? Atlanta stinks. Atlanta stinks. Bijan is a fine pick, but clearly that's not what they needed to get over the hump. Beastburf says, I don't think you can wager on it. Hulk died a while ago. I thought he did, but I'm like, maybe the funeral's really delayed. Maybe they're doing a burial at sea. I have no idea. Okay. Betting after the market. Go AZ Cards. Even I have my limit. 6 a.m. drunk drafts are way too early. I have to wait till 7. Well, maybe we'll do a night stream. We'll do Candles After Dark just to get you on as a guest. I would do that for you. Brian doesn't like DJM at all. I'm comfortable having my 4% exposure blanket. Yeah, I wish I had a 4. I would take a 4% exposure blanket. I think there's a good chance that he sucks. 65 is a lot. I don't know. All right, we're up though. We are up. What does the machine want us to do? It wants us to take Carnell Tate. I'm going to ignore that. Shockingly. And actually, I'm going to take Swift here. I almost took Christian Watson. I like Christian Watson, but the late running backs have gotten a little weird, and so I just want to make sure I have at least 3 I'm happy with. So for the audio listeners, we have Genty, McBride, Kyron, Ladd, and Swift. So only 1 wide receiver through 5. Almost took Christian Watson there. The machine was asking us to take Carnell Tate, but we did not. Flyfish, you did miss the Tootin' Cope. You missed the Tootin' Cope. It was a full round trip. Emo Cowboy was here. He helped talk me through it. Still out on Tootin'. I'm not capitulating. I don't think Tootin's very good. Maybe in BBM, I think I'm gonna try to just be at market. But in this contest, with 50 drafts left, I think I've made my bed. And if Tootin's who you need, RIP. No Cope, it's just the truth. Hartman, what's up, Chatham? Hey, Hartman, appreciate you. Yeah, we're back. I didn't know if the algo would punish me for going away for a few days, but appreciate each and every one of you coming in, hanging out this morning, doing some drafts. If you can, drop a like, sub to the channel. We hang out here every weekday. Every weekday we can. So that's most weekdays, unless something comes up. And we rip some drafts, we talk some ball, sometimes talk a little golf, whatever comes up. But appreciate all of you coming in. It means a ton to me that y'all would spend your morning hanging out here. Miles says candles after. Absolutely. I did some after dark streams when I was in Canada, in Alberta, and so I was on mountain time, and there was just no way I could stream at 5:30 in the morning. They were not super well attended, but they were a lot of fun to do. I also had to whisper because my family was sleeping in the room next door, so it was kind of funny. Swift over Tootin', yes. We're a dead ender here. Copy paste laid. We are the last soldier on the island here, fading Tootin' here. The machine wants us to take Lemon. really like Jaden Daniels, and I think I'm a little under on him. Yeah. All right, we'll take Mekhi Lemon. We'll take Lemon. It was close there. It was definitely a close decision for me. Daniels goes to the very next pick. Certainly makes sense. I'm not worried about the weird interview stuff. I don't know why he had to do a really sultry interview. That was odd, but who cares? Who cares? If your wide receiver 1 doesn't have a screw loose, are they really a wide receiver 1? I think it's fine. Frog Clone says, I'm done pretending I wouldn't have 15% Ja'Day Walker if he was in the player pool. What's the alpha there? Tell me. Because we famously, Tyrone Tracy was not in the big board. So, but he was a good pick in BBM. So what's the alpha? I need to hear. Miles Westfield, I have 1 Tootin share over 50 drafts, had 25% last year. I think I'm similar. Like, I really don't think I have a Tootin. I might have 1. How much Tootin do I have? 120 teams. I have $10 of buy shell Tootin. Not great. Not great. Pull the board back for the people. Patrick Barnes YouTube is killing it at the 12. All right, we can check Patrick Barnes YouTube. Copy paste Lade says Jags prob sign. Gosh, I hope not, because I have even less Rachaad White than I have Tootin, and I have $10 of Tootin. He was simply frame mogging the camera. Oh, all right. Well, I mean, that's enough to get me in on that. We can stop drafting the 12-hole wins. All right. Let me make my pick, and then we'll check out the 12-hole. Miles said, well, I wish I had more, though. Yeah, I did, too. I thought ETN was going back. If I thought if he wasn't coming back, then they were going to sign, like, a Rico Dowdley kind of guy. That was my my headcanon. Now what happens? It's not even like where they're picking. They can take a guy. I'm just taking Jerry Rice here. I'm taking Michael Wilson with Trey McBride. This one's for you. Go AZ Cards. We'll take Michael Wilson there. We're gonna keep getting overweight, especially with Brissett back. That could be fun. Or the thing that I think is gonna happen is probably gonna happen where they run the ball a lot because they'll have Connor and Algier. And now this is going to look kind of messed up, but I'm okay with that. We will take Michael Wilson and McBride, and we'll say late season, this is what you need, because early season, it's not going to work. They're going to lose, and it's just Brissett again. Flyfish said, that makes absolutely no sense. You believed in Tootin as a rookie to beat Etienne, and now Etienne's not coming back, or he would have signed. You're out. What? The problem is, Flyfish, is he didn't pass the eye test to me. I don't think he was very good, and I think he was fumbly. He didn't. The lack of any kind of breakaway run for a guy with breakaway speed to me suggests like a vision problem. Now I've heard ball knowers say that's not true. The film people don't agree. I just think if he's such a good hitter, why doesn't he hit? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think we would have seen more explosion from him. But you know what? We all think the Cohen offense is elite. We all want the RB1 there. I think it might just take me to BBM to capitulate, and then I will take some. But with only 50 drafts left, I'm almost like, well, what's the point of jamming him in at this higher price on these late teams? I think I just missed the bus. I think I gotta just capitulate. I'm gonna take Algier here, and now we really are going to bet on the we're gonna bet on the Cardinals. The machine wants Pollard and Dowdle before. We're gonna be the Cardinals with this draft, and hope that they're fun. No more Zacchaeus. Chad, wheels up for Ja'Day as wide receiver 3. Lock it in. I don't know what's going on, Frog Clone, but I like it. I like it. We got to get this guy in the player pool. Copy paste Lade says the Jags are going to bring someone else in depending on who it is, but all the big cuck chairs are already signed and they're blocked from J-Love. Yeah, that like they could do the funniest thing and trade up in the draft again and trade for J-Love, but I don't think I'm going to get bailed out like that. That would be incredible though if they did. Hardman says never wrong, just early on the buy Shell Tootin story. Yeah, I know. I'm coming around to it, guys. You got to give me a day. You got to give me a day because just yesterday I was like, oh, this is it. This is the end of pick 70 buy Shell Tootin. What a stupid pick that is. Nope. All right, yeah, I promise you we check in on Patrick Barnes' team. So he goes Piss Boy, Amon-Ra, Jefferson, Higgins, McMillan, and then RJ Harvey, Tootin, Ramondre, and Chuba. I don't like Harvey, but other than that, yeah. I mean, again, a Tootin, fine. You guys win. If you like the Tootin pick, 61 does feel like... I feel like he's going to keep rising. So pick 61 seems good. Ramondre, Hubbard now, Dowdle for sure gone. Yeah, nice team here from Patrick Barnes. He'll probably get Goff here at pick 108 too, if I'm reading the board. Right. All right, let's see. The machine wants us to take probably a quarterback. I'm assuming. Let's see. Kenny Gainwell goes. Iceman is up. We missed out on our primary stack there. I'm fine taking Bo Nix here. Yeah, if I'm gonna get one unstacked, yeah, Goff, I could take him to be to torpedo Patrick Barnes, but no real reason to do that. I think Bo Nix makes more sense on my team, so we'll take Bo Nix there. Agree with you, Fraud Clone. Today actually looked pretty decent. All right, do we? I can't tell if this is a bit. I can't tell if you guys think like. I guess he is the wide receiver 3 now. I don't know. It is weird that he's not. That they don't have like the full player pool. But yeah, I mean, kicks. This is like deep stuff here. When you're talking Ja'Day Walker, this is good stuff here. But Frog Clone agrees with kicks that they're in. Chris has no QBs and nothing but late tight end. Is that what you're saying? Oh, Patrick Barnes is strat there. Yeah, so he does get Goff as we predicted there. I mean, everyone to my right already had 2 quarterbacks, so he double taps quarterback, goes Goff and Love. Kind of interesting, the Love selection there. But I guess if you're worried about quarterback, does get pretty dicey pretty fast. For me, it's recommending an unstacked Kyler or an unstacked Baker. I don't know if I want to do that, guys. I'm not sure if that's the way I want to take this team, but let's see. I mean, I almost prefer unstacked of that range Tyler Shuck, to be honest with you guys. But we'll see. They have Tyler Shuck down a little bit. Tyler Shuck goes, so Texas Fox agreeing with me there. Let's take Wandale. Let's buy the Dipperino. I think we're going to figure out quarterback later. I'm not too worried there. And this does open up Cam Ward as a stack here. So we're going to grab Wandale. I like getting a few picks of ADP value on that click. So for the audio listeners, we're up to a 1-4-4-1. Bo Nix, Ashton Genty, Kyron Swift, and Algier. Ladd, Makai Lemon, Michael Wilson, Wandale Robinson, and Trey McBride. I actually feel like this is a fun team. I think this team's coming out pretty nicely so far. Although I respect anyone who disagrees there. Malik Willis, he is continuing to rise up there at pick 117 there. Flyfish notes, though, that bad rookie seasons don't matter. Teams only have so much cap space and draft picks. You can't toss aside high and mid-round picks. Look at Alec Pierce, QJ Corum, etc. Yeah. No, Flyfish, and I'm afraid you're probably right. But, you know, as Darth Vader said to Luke on the second Death Star, it's too late for me. Go on. He doesn't say go on, but you know what I'm saying. It's too late for me. But maybe you've saved me in BBM. But yeah, I made a gamble, and honestly, I think I came up snake eyes. I thought they were going to sign someone, and they didn't. That's how I played it. And when BBM comes along, I will probably tuck my tail between my legs and get 8% of buy Shell Tootin. Mike Clay is Connor outproducing Algier. That has to be wrong. Mike Clay knows a lot of ball. And we've seen veterans, not go away so easily. That said, for my money, I think Algier is probably the alpha. I don't know what the terms were on the Connor restructure, but I have to imagine Algier's making more. But yeah, I don't know. Chris wanted Wandale. We got him. Hartman asking, do you think Bhatia cheats when he putts? So, all right, I have a couple of things on that. Let me make my pick. All right. What do I want to do? Let's see what Iceman does. The machine wants Shakir. I imagine this guy's going to take... All right, I'm actually going to take Mendoza because quarterback will get away from me. So I'm going to take Mendoza. I know I could possibly push this. Hold on. Yeah, I'll take Mendoza here. That's fine. Because we do have Genti. I think Genti and Mendoza is kind of fun to make a bet on this team. I don't think Bhatia cheats when he putts, and I think this was Pat Mayo talking about it. Bhatia is just so skinny that his shirts are all baggy, so when he puts his thumb there, it's touching his shirt, but his chest is actually like a foot behind it. So that said, I don't think he cheats. And he also reminded us that Berger is the one who will call you out. And I remember this a long time ago. It was Berger was late with Knox, with the Scottish guy Knox, who had never won anything. And they got into some big kerfuffle where Berger was like accused Knox of cheating, or said that like there was a ball crossed the penalty area a certain way, and Knox was saying it was another, and it was like a whole thing, and it kind of really rattled Knox. So he noted if anyone was going to call out Bhatia for cheating, it would be Daniel Berger, and if Daniel Berger didn't, then it's probably not. So the long answer is no, I don't think he's cheating. The short answer is if you think he's cheating, you should roster him and things, because I want my golfers to cheat. I want them taking every advantage they can. I want Patrick Reed improving his lies. If I'm rostering them in DFS, I don't want the goody two-shoes who's calling penalties on themselves. So if you don't like it and think he's cheating, then he's the guy you should be using in your DFS lineups. That said, I don't think he's cheating. I think he's just really skinny. All right, let's see. We are coming up. Oh, I agree. Sidekick. Josh Downs. Josh Downs is kind of a windmill jam. He is, to me, we had been taking him. I think he's a big winner from the Pittman departure. I think he's going to continue to rise. ADP 145. He was like closer to 150, 160. I love the Josh Downs pick, and in full agreement with the sidekick there. Copy paste lay DK flagship only 28% filled. You chasing? Yes. I like doing the underdog stuff on stream, so I kind of do more of my DK off stream. I draft the same, but yeah, I will be doing some DK stuff. Wandale's price was crazy, but he should be great for Cam. Yeah, Wandale, a highly competent receiver. I think it's a great ad for Ward, and I like that they're trying to surround Ward with some good pieces there. And I would absolutely, no pun intended, love it if they took Love. Wonder what that would mean for Pollard. I mean, by wonder what I mean, that would be like Armageddon for Pollard. So I don't know if they would try to move him or what that would be. I don't know. Hartman, gotta wait for the promos to drop. Yeah, that is true. Overlay is a myth there because they will give you insane promos sometimes. And I always max their flagships, and then they're like, if you do 50 in the next 3 hours, we'll give you $900. And I'm like, I have 4 left. Flyfish, I do get respect your cost argument at this. All right, as long as you get it. Again, I'm telling you, VBM, different story. And honestly, post-draft, I'm going to have 5 times the volume I have in pre-draft. So exposures are going to look quite different. I'm fine getting a little IKBE in the pre-draft stuff. Because again, come August, nobody remembers your big board. It doesn't feel like it now, but your big board is going to seem so far in the past. At least if you draft like I do and a lot of the people that make content, you just end up with so many more drafts post-draft. Purple Yosh Bhatia is a pure prince, and I agree. I love Bhatia. He's so good for the game. He's just awesome. He He seems like he's having fun. I hate when announcers are like, they play with so much joy, and I'm like, that's so corny. But I'm like, I don't know. I actually feel like with Bhatia, he's just like, he wasn't rattled by the moment. Like it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see him, and I feel bad for Berger, because Berger, he didn't play that badly, and got run down there. What do I want to do though? I think I want to take Omar Cooper. Rumor has it they're already printing Omar Cooper Raider jerseys. So I'll take Omar Cooper there. If he gets paired with Mendoza, I think that could be a lot of fun, reuniting the teammates. I think that's a little bit of a fanfic that I can buy here. So we'll take Omar Cooper there. Yeah, he's so skinny his baggy shirt touches the putter. Exactly. Huhaim says, sup fam. Hey, Huhaim, appreciate you so much coming up. I appreciate you. FK Coolers, though, says, I'm not sure if he cheated on purpose. I doubt he did, but I saw enough angles where it wasn't a baggy shirt. Honestly, FK Coolers, I think they should just ban the broomstick putter because it's, to me, kind of a crime against nature. But if they're going to allow it, it's so hard to police. I don't like the broomstick personally. I think it's pretty awful. Miles says, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Yeah, I want my DFS golfers cheating. Greg says, for real, he's actually a skeleton. It would be hard for him to do. Preach, Yosh. Mikowski says, you think Underdog or DK offers any other drafts before the NFL draft? I hope so. I certainly hope so. Brian's got to jump. Great stream chat. Hey, appreciate you, Brian. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Again, congrats to you and Gumby. We were truly all rooting for you. I am not going to pass Jacoby Brissett on this team where I have all of the Cardinals. I think that would be foolish. Maybe he gets to 187, but I think he's a guy that I had very little, maybe even none of, because I did not think he was going to be starting. And it's quite possible he does not finish the year as the Cardinals quarterback. But that said, I don't think they have a lot of other alternatives there. And on a team where we have Michael Wilson, and we have Algier, and we have Trey McBride, I think it makes sense to add one Jacoby Brissett, even that aggressively ahead of ADP. Bukowski saying, hey, Who-Hams. The Who Crew is Legion. The Who Crew is Legion. If you don't sub to Who-Hams, you absolutely should. One of the true ball knowers out there putting out content. So appreciate you, Bukowski, and Who-Hams, of course. Yeah, the brooms are it's just so lame. Boomstick over broomstick. I don't know if this is a paintball reference, but I used to play paintball back in the day, and I had a dye boomstick barrel on that thing, and man, it was my pride and joy as a young middle schooler who played paintball far too much. But yeah, broomstick lame, dye boomstick pretty awesome. And for the three of you who know what the hell I'm talking about, I salute you. Who-Hame says, back to the DK thing, I'm for sure saving a bunch. It will probably not overlay in the end. I agree. I don't think it'll overlay. All right, so we are coming up. Because, yeah, you get the overlay chasers who kind of by nature and the overlay and DK will be incentivized to not allow it to overlay too much. All right. Well, I feel pretty good about this squad that we have here. Hey, speaking of people you should follow, the Fanspeak Network. Absolutely give the Fanspeak Network a follow. Hey, Chad Candles, happy NFL. Happy NFL to you, Fanspeak. If y'all don't sub to Fanspeak, they are on the road to 1,000. They've got a 24-hour stream planned for that 1,000 sub mark. So, huge congrats to them for getting so close. I guess the congrats is premature, but they're going to get there, maybe with some of your help. If you don't sub to Fanspeak, please do, because they're awesome. They've got Meg in the chat. Okay, it's you, Meg. Didn't know who was on. A happy free agency week. Meg, awesome. They've got a great sub stack. You get Meg's rankings. You get Steve's rankings. And we are going to draft. Oof, it wants Troy Franklin. I don't really want Troy Franklin. Do I want DK? No, I want Trey Tucker. Am I too slow? Nimble fingers. All right, we took Trey Tucker there. I wanted to lock in the stack with the Raiders there, because they signed Someone not good. Who was it? Why am I blanking? Oh, Jalen Naylor. Jalen Naylor, who now I think is draftable. He's a competent NFL wide receiver, but not too worried. I think that's more of a threat to your Thornton Beshi range of guy. Again, I'm telling you, they're probably going to draft somebody, so we'll see. I do think some of these pieces late in draft are kind of fun, and Trey Tucker, of course, had a monster week last year. So, Chad Lore gets cooler all the time. More of a Tippmann flatline myself. My friend who I used to paintball with back then had the Tippmann. I think it was a Tippmann 99 he had, and I think he had I can't remember what barrel he had on it, but that was a fun gun that he had. I had a Spider Shutter myself. Was my what I had attached to it. I read that. Fanspeak Network, good people. 100% agree. 100% agree. Fanspeak appreciates it, and yeah, thanks so much, Meg. Thanks for coming in, hanging out, and Meg, of course. By the way, Meg appeared on After Dark probably about a week and a half ago. Fantastic appearance on Pete's show. So if you didn't catch that, one of the good After Darks, definitely recommend tuning in. Get more of the Meg lore. And so again, that was a great show by Pete and Meg there. All right, the machine wants me to take Hawkinson. I absolutely do not wish to take Hawkinson. I don't like him. I know they restructured and he stayed, but we're going to IKB that, I think. Let's grab Tank Dell. That's fine. We'll quasi listen to it. Surratt, of course, you could make the same argument that he is alive to be reunited with Mendoza. We all think it could be Cooper. Maybe it's Surratt. That said, Tank Dell as your 8th receiver, if he's anywhere close to where he was, that could be a pretty nice pick there. Greg actually kept playing past middle school like a super nerd. Good time. Hey, man, I wish I could have. I wish I could have. For a confluence of reasons, I did not end up. Mostly because my best friend in middle school ended up going to a different high school than me, and we kind of lost touch a little bit. But anyway, yeah, that's it was fun. It was fun. Go AZ Cards saying your goal on subscribers. Oh man. At the end of NFL season, 5,000 subs. Well, let's see. That might be a little unreasonable. I would love to get to 1,000 subs, which probably pretty difficult. That would be doubling what we have now. But you know what? If we're gonna grind here every day and try to put out more videos, I don't see why we couldn't get there. So we'll see. And you could help it. If you have not subbed to the channel, you could be part of that road to 5,000 that we're on, or at least the road to 1,000 in the interim. But appreciate you, Go AZ Cards. And each and every one of you out here. Chaito's looking for someone to blame for the Mendoza rise. It is me. I have a lot of Mendoza. Really need him to start week 1. I'm about to start lobbying the local congressman in Las Vegas. Be like, A, we need to repeal the gambling provision of the big beautiful bill. B, Fernando Mendoza needs to start week 1. And if he doesn't, you know what? Then I'm gonna have more than enough losses to make up for everything, and it'll be fine. So we'll see. All right, we're coming back up. We got a 3-4-8-1. The sidekick says, please take a tight end. I'm inclined to agree there. Theo Johnson, he's got to continue to fall with Isaiah Likely joining. That feels like a bit of a phony ADP. Fergie, Firemouth, Helm. I like all of these guys. So we'll see who we end up with in that range. Otten sneakily rose up the sidekicks recommendation there. Kind of interesting to see that. I almost feel like with Wandale, my preference would be Gunnar Helm. Make a little bit of a bet on the Tennessee Titans there. We could take Fergie, but let's grab Helm. Again, surprised it doesn't want more running backs. It is very interesting how willing the sidekick is to just say, you've got your 4, what's a 5th going to do? I am very, very intrigued by its by how okay it is with that, because as you know, I think the orthodoxy really doesn't feel comfortable ending at 4. So, looking around at the board, Tua, big riser here, going at pick 188 from previously undrafted territory. Penix at 166. So, both Atlanta quarterbacks getting drafted. Only one can win. We will see. No Evans equals Otten for end zone targets. Could be. Could be. I mean, we've seen Otten thrive when there's missing players, and certainly the departure of Mike Evans could be in that realm. We've also seen Otten do absolutely nothing for days and days and days. So we'll see. Wouldn't mind getting a little bit of Otten, perhaps. All right, let's see. Ferguson goes. So there goes that string of tight ends we had there. Jalen Naylor, we talked about before. He goes to Patrick Barnes' YouTube. People like Patrick Barnes' team after Goff and Love. He had a Dobbs, Debo, Kelsey, Emmett Johnson, AJ Barner, Katron Allen, Ferguson, and Naylor. FK Cooler says, Sidekick definitely does some interesting stuff. I've also seen it recommend a 7th RB ahead of a 4th wide receiver in certain drafts. Wow. I'm assuming it's because Genty, Kyron, and Swift so early. It must just say, like, well, if you miss on that, you're screwed. I don't know. But very interesting to me. Machine has Jeremy Bernard at the top. He gets sniped off by Texas Fox. Texas Fox, are you in here? You have to tell me. You legally are obligated to let me know if you are in this chat. But we'll take Pat Fry and end the tight end room with McBride, Helm, and Firemuth, and then see what the machine wants us to do. Again, it's just saying take another receiver. And let's look at our receiver room. Ladd, Lemon, Michael Wilson, Wandale, Josh Downs, Omar Cooper, Trey Tucker, Tank Dell. I mean, I think it's a fine room, but I also certainly do understand the machine saying we need some more bullets here. You know, our first receiver being Ladd, even he's not the most trustworthy. So we will see. Bukowski goes, what are your thoughts on the rookie tight ends this year? I think the Vikings might draft Sadiq at 18. Yeah. Sadiq and Stowers both seem like they had the best tight end combine I can remember, both of them. So I would not be surprised if Hawkinson was basically a 0. Call me Misha82. I am. All right, so you are in here. Appreciate you making yourself known. I like the team you drafted. A bunch of players that I'm into went right before me, so nice team there. Appreciate you coming by, hanging out. Call me Misha. Go Easy Cards says, a Sidekick have settings, like can you set it to 20% max exposure you can have on a player or unique combos first? I do not believe it does. I do not believe it does. Yeah, I assume that's something maybe in conjunction with like a best ball overlay you could kind of like manually push it to, but no, I think it's it has its sims and is kind of agnostic as to your overall exposures. All right, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep taking my guy, Brashard Smith. I know it's a little broken recordy. Maybe Najee is a better click. He still could sign somewhere and be a thorn in a side. But again, you know, when Bieniemy's first press conference did talk about Brashard Smith, I could see him being Jerick McKinnon-y and could be a nice compliment. Ken Walker doesn't do much in the receiving game. That's where Brashard Smith can shine. So I'll take it. I mean, I'm just looking for a spike week or two, and maybe we can get that from our guy, Brashard. So we got a 3-5-8-3. We'll probably listen to the Sidekick for the last pick, at which point it will likely be recommending a wide receiver. Blue Ames, though, noting that 2 years ago, Walker had 53 receptions. You know what's funny? Because in my mind, Walker was a receiving threat, and then like last year he got so little work that I was like, oh, I guess that was just vibes. Yeah, very interesting that he that kind of dropped off so much for Walker, and I could imagine that changes in Kansas City, you know, especially with with Mahomes magic. Like, Walker could just leak out into the flat and have 30 yards in front of him and nobody's surprised. Like, we definitely could see some receiving production that we're not necessarily baking into Walker if things change. But I don't know. Interesting stuff. Who Ames, are you in on Brashard? I cannot remember. All right, let's see what the machine wants us to do. It wants Slayton. I don't know if I disagree. I'm kind of into Slayton with the departure of Wandale, but gosh, I was into Slayton last year, and it did not go well. All right, let's do Najee. Let's do a Najee team and hope that he annoys somebody. So we will end this team with two running backs. For the audio listeners, we went 3-6-8-3 and completely ignored the sidekick. We went Bo Nix, Fernando Mendoza, Jacoby Brissett, running back room of Genty, Kyron, Swift, Algier, two late clicks in Brashard Smith and Najee Harris. Wide receiver room of Ladd, Mekhi Lemon, Michael Wilson, Wandale, Josh Downs, Omar Cooper, Trey Tucker, and Tank Dell. And then tight ends of McBride, Helm, and Firemouth. Yeah, I like this team. I think it came out pretty good. Oh, Easy Card says we need a Candles and Who high stakes stream draft. Well, I can figure something out with Who. We'll definitely get to do some streams together, for sure. Walker's receiver like Quinshon Imo can do it with if asked but not a plus receiver. That's fair. That feels about right. Oh, Easy, I raise it. Who fans speak Candles? Oh my god, get the whole panel. Oh no, accidentally auto Theo. Yeah, that's killer. It's like you get the fake ADP value there. I mean, I think he's still alive to do a bit, but obviously, yeah, you probably preferred someone else. Who Ames is out on Brashard. Reed doesn't seem to trust him to block and won't even let him attempt it. So I like talking out of two sides of my mouth, being like Tootin is what he is and can't improve, but saying like, well, Brashard was a rookie. Maybe that's something he can work on. But yeah. It did feel like his touches were trending the right way, though. I feel like if you want to see some green shoots there, you can. Not the worst because division correlation. And how is your team? Let's see, Texas Fox. Let's check it out. Then I got to hop. But appreciate all of you hanging out. We got Lamb, Walker, Etienne, and Javante. So a nice Dallas stack there. DJ Moore, Drake May, Dak. Yeah, love Dak with the Dallas pieces. Kyle Pitts. I mean, I have almost 40% Kyle Pitts. Xavier Worthy, Tyler Shuck, so gets 3 quarterbacks by pick 10, so very aggressive quarterback clicking, but not bad. Golden, Johnson, and Henry, so he does get Juwan Johnson, Hunter Henry stacked. Booty, Bigsby, DK, Ray Day, who has been a riser, but didn't rise too much, so I feel like that's, people were speculating Buffalo might add someone. They did not at this point. So maybe Ray Day sees a little bit of a bump. Gio Bernard, the auto-drafted Theo Johnson, and Keon Coleman. I like the team. I feel like you did pretty well there, Texas Fox, like the crew. Yeah, I could see also Theo was a 4th tight end, so a little unfortunate there. But everyone, this was a ton of fun. If you can, yeah, of course, call me Misha. If you can, like the stream, drop a sub, and then afterwards, if you can, leave a comment. Anything helps with the algo. But I will be back tomorrow, same time. Should be 9 a.m. Might be 8:30. We'll see what launch time is. But appreciate all of you. Take care, everyone.